But what happens when we don't set boundaries? Just look what happened in Sydney in 1917. After years of being overworked and underpaid, Sydney's police officers went on strike. Within hours, looting and chaos broke out across the city. It showed the power of setting boundaries, even when the cost was high. Sydney's streets have seen this play out in vivid and violent detail. In the 1970s, the effects of heroin addiction began to shape a new and brutal landscape. As Mark Fields, a detective, observed, before heroin, criminals had a certain respect for law enforcement. But heroin changed all that. In those days, a junkie might kill a cop just to avoid arrest on a minor possession charge. No thought, no remorse. The junkies, they don't care about themselves, the detective once said. They don't care about each other, their friends, their families, and certainly not the police. Another detective with 14 years on the job summed it up. They're not scared of us now. We really have lost control of the streets. This breakdown in respect and the absence of boundaries created an environment where the rules no longer applied and the consequences were deadly. In the 1920s, Sydney's underworld exploded with brutal turf wars. Guns were banned, so criminals fought with razors instead. Infamous figures like Tilly Devine and Kate Lee ran brothels, gambling dens, and sly grog shops. To survive, they had to fiercely protect their turf. If they didn't set clear boundaries, rivals moved in fast. You don't need a razor, thankfully, but you do need to protect your space as fiercely in life and at work. And in the 1900s, Sydney's oldest neighbourhood, the Rocks, was hit by the bubonic plague. Quarantines, demolitions and strict public health boundaries were enforced. People fought back. They didn't want their homes destroyed, but those uncomfortable limits saved thousands of lives. Like those early health officials, you're setting boundaries not because it's easy, but because it protects your future. Start by protecting your most important resources, your time, your energy, and peace of mind. When you're able to create space for yourself, you'll find that you're better equipped to support others. Identify your limits. Take some time to reflect on what drains you. Once you understand where your limits lie, you can begin to define your boundaries. Here are some practical action steps. 1. Identify your limits. Take time to reflect on what drains you. Once you understand where your limits lie, you can begin to define your boundaries. 2. Communicate clearly. Be direct and honest when expressing your needs. For example, you might say, I'm unable to take on this project right now because I'm already committed to others. You don't need to apologize for setting boundaries. It's an act of self-care. 3. Practice saying no. Start small. Say no to small requests that don't align with your priorities. This will help you build confidence in saying no when bigger decisions arise. 4. Reassess regularly. Boundaries may change over time, so it's important to reassess them regularly. What served you last year might not work this year, and that's okay. Keep checking in with yourself to ensure that your boundaries still serve your well-being. Here's some free advice. It can feel comfortable at first, especially when you're used to putting everyone else's needs before your own. Remember, setting boundaries is a way to ensure that you're able to give your best to the world without losing yourself in the process. You have the power to create the space you need to thrive. When you start setting boundaries, you'll notice how much better you feel. Your relationships will become healthier and you'll be able to give more because you're taking care of yourself first. The more you practice, the easier it becomes. Setting boundaries is essential for maintaining your well-being and protecting your time and energy. It's about defining your limits and communicating them clearly and respectfully. By doing so, you create healthier, more balanced relationships, both in your personal life and at work. Now's the time to take charge of your life. Start setting boundaries today. Identify where you need to protect yourself. Speak the truth with clarity and practice saying no when necessary. Your well-being is worth it and you're worth protecting. Remember, boundaries are your self-respect in action. By honoring your own needs, you empower yourself and everyone around you. You've got the strength to create the space you need to flourish. Embrace your boundaries and watch how your life transforms for all the better. And if you liked hearing stories about Sydney, Australia, I recommend you read the fabulous book Leviathan, the unauthorised biography of Sydney by John Birmingham. You deserve a life that feels light, open and filled with peace. You are made to walk paths lined with beauty, just like the jacaranda trees that arch across Sydney streets, creating a canopy of purple each spring. Let your life bloom in the same way, bright, resilient and completely your own. You've got this.